Hi kiddos, for today's activity we're going to do a lion cutout. So we're going to need your scissors, your paintbrushes, and a few other supplies. More precisely, we're going to need a big piece of paper to cover your workstation, 2 pieces of paper, one for your drawing and one for the lion's mane and also the little ears. We're also going to need a cup of water to rinse your paintbrushes, a few paintbrushes of different sizes, a pair of scissors, also a little towel to wipe your fingers in case of any paint, and lastly, different colored paint to paint our lion. And we're good to go. Great, so the first thing we're gonna do is take a piece of paper this way, and we're gonna fold it lengthwise. So just take it and use your fingers to press down alongside the left-hand side, and then fold it front-ways. So then we're gonna take our pencil, and we're gonna draw the shape of our lion. So first things first, make sure your pencil is sharpened, have your eraser nearby, and we're actually going to have the lion kind of jut out from the top. So first the neck, then the front legs. So we're going to do 2 lines right there, the belly, and then another 2 lines for the hind legs, which we're going to jut up right here from the same level upwards. And the tail. So it's going to be a little squiggly with a little pom-pom at the bottom and over. Great. So here we have the shape of our lion's body, which we're then going to cut out with a pair of scissors. So grab your scissors if you have them nearby. Perfect. And now we're going to take our fold and slowly cut up the legs and around the body. So remember to make sure that your paper is nicely folded because we want both sides to be equal, exactly in the way that we've cut the first side. So snip, snip on the hind legs. Perfect. And then right through the belly. And take your time here, kids. If I'm going a little too fast, you can put the video on pause. And also just make sure that your fingers are away from the scissors. Great, so we're snipping right through the hind legs here. And then a little bit trickier here to snip right around the tail. The curvy parts can be a little bit tricky. So nice and slowly, you can maneuver the paper with the scissors and cut right around that little pom-pom right there. So snip around. Perfect. And over. Great. And then right up the tail. Up and around here. Awesome. So here we have the shape of our lion. We're just going to open him up here. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint him. So let's grab our paintbrush, add a little bit of water, and make sure your brush is nice and clean. And let's dip him in some orange. I'm just painting his entire body, this nice, bright, fiery orange. Like a real strong lion. Nice and bright. Perfect. What we're also going to do, we're going to paint his other side. And then we're also going to cut out his lion's mane as well as his little ears. So this is just kind of, you know, a fraction of the body that we're going to put together. So keep painting through the entire body. Great. And remember, not too much water in your paint, you guys, or else the curves of the paint are gonna of the paper rather are gonna kind of come up. And then nice and slowly around the tail. Awesome. Great, and then use your fingers to hold down the paper. If you get a little bit of paint on your fingers, no problem. We can wash your hands afterwards. Okay, so we're gonna put our lion off to the side while his paint dries. And then we're gonna get our next piece of paper where we are going to fold it horizontally. Fold it nice and crisp on the left-hand side. And then we're gonna snip right through the middle. So right where you see the folding line is where your scissors should follow. Great. So we're going to take one of those halves and we're going to fold it once again. Use our fingers to press down the fold. Perfect. And then we're going to use this piece of paper here to draw our lion's mane and our ears. So to start with our lion's mane, let's take our pencils, and I'm going to make mine like this really kind of jagged, big, furry ball, just like that. And then to make the ears, it's like a little rectangle. It's kind of rounded off in the sides. Perfect. So even if you make a mistake with your pencil, we can always fix it later with the scissors when we cut it out. So I'm just going to separate the two. It'll be easier to cut out. So first with our ears, I fixed it a little bit with the pencil. I want them to be a little bit bigger than what I initially intended. So just snip around, be careful with your fingers, and poof, perfect. Our ears are ready, and now we can cut out the lion's mane. So just snipping right alongside the little zigzags I did. So again, you don't have to follow the exact zigzags that you did. You know, maybe you want to change it while you're cutting it. That's completely fine. The point is we're having fun and our lion is going to look awesome. So keep zigzagging through with your scissors, making little triangles, and you can pull out the paper to make your zigzags as well. So cut and trim. Perfect. And then a little bit more trimming here. Look how wild his mane is going to look like. He's going to be like the craziest lion of the jungle. And one last little snip. Just cleaning up the sides a little bit. And take your time with your cutting, you guys. Perfect. So here's our lion's mane. So we can start painting our mane the same color as the body. So just keep on painting all the way through using the same shade of orange. You could also use a different shade if you'd like to. It's painting right through, adding a little bit more color and a little more water. Then what we can also do is we're going to add a little bit of brown and yellow afterwards, so it looks like his mane has this crazy texture. It's going to look awesome. Perfect. And once our lion is complete, you can kind of have it as a statue hanging out in your room. You can do lots of different things with it. So I'm just taking my little paintbrush here, taking some brown. Perfect. And just adding a few little brush strokes here. Because lions are usually so many kind of different crazy colors. You know, all in the shades of the browns and the yellows. Some are a little bit more red than they are brown. So just adding a little bit of depth. And then I'm taking another little paintbrush here and adding some yellow. So even if you don't have as many paintbrushes as I do, don't worry. You can work with just one. Just make sure that you have enough water with you so that you can rinse it. Perfect. So I'm just brushing out. Perfect. That mane is looking awesome. And now I'm going to paint my little ears. And I'm going to make them yellow. Switch it up a little bit. Perfect. So remember, if we were making a girl lion, he wouldn't have this insane mane. So only the boy lions have those. Great, so now we're going to take our lion, who should be sufficiently dry now after his first painting, and we're going to, well, let's first kind of clean off our fingers. Perfect. And we're going to add a few details to his body. So let's fold him back over. Use your fingers nice and lightly to make the folds nice. Perfect, look, he's standing up, so cute. We're going to add two little incisions to the two front parts of his head, which we're going to basically slide his ears into and then his mane. So take your scissors. We're going to make our first incision right kind of before the front leg, about half an inch in front of the front leg, and make a tiny little incision, which is about 1/4 of an inch. And then about 1/4 of an inch further away, you can make a little bit of a deeper incision at about 1/2 inch for the mane. Perfect. So now that the incisions have been made, we can take our marker and start adding some of the details onto our lion, like his nose, which I'm making brown and I've outlined it with a little bit of black marker. And now his eye, just making a little black circle, and then his mouth with his little whiskers. Great. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side so everything is nice and symmetrical. So black, I'm going to fill it in with brown. Little eye in black. And then I'm going to use my brown marker to make his mouth. Perfect. He's looking so handsome so far. So now I'm going to put my line aside and I'm going to paint the other side of my mane. So to do that, we can take our same paintbrush, take a little bit more of our orange, and paint right through. Great. Nice, rich orange color. So lions are almost kind of like peacocks, where peacocks that are boys have those big kind of feathers. You know, lions have the same thing, and that's how they can scare away predators and also how they can attract, you know, their future lion wives. Okay, so I'm taking a slightly smaller paintbrush here. I'm going to add some of the similar detailing I did to the front of my mane. So a little bit of brown, and just brush right through, like energetic brush strokes going outwards. A little bit of a rinse, and then some yellow to add a little pizzazz. Perfect. Okay, our mane looks pretty awesome. Let's just put him off to the side here so he can dry. And in the meantime, we can work on our ears. So I'm going to flip him over, and I'm going to paint over them in yellow. So even those little pencil marks that we had, we're not even going to be able to see them once we cover it in paint. We're just painting right over everything in yellow. Nice and bright. Perfect. So now I'm just going to wipe my fingers because I don't want to get any erroneous paint on my final result. And I'm going to clean my workstation. So pushing away all of my scraps here. And I'm only going to leave behind the final components of my lion that I need. Great. So I have my lion's body. I'm grabbing his cute little yellow ears. What we're going to do is we're going to slide them downward facing in the first incision that we cut. So the one that's only about 1/4 of an inch deep. And then we're going to take our lion's mane, also facing downwards, and place it into the second incision, which is about 1/2 inch deep. Great looking lion, you guys. It looks awesome. So kiddos, here's our ferocious lion figurine. I hope you had a great time making him today. I'd love to see how your lion turned out, so please send me a picture into tutokid.com with the help of your parents. Hope to see you soon.